life. And to tell you how I was a spy of Israel in Russia, in Soviet Union, not in Russia. It was then. It was Soviet Union. It was about 32, 34. I don't remember exactly years ago. It was still Soviet Union before they were fell apart, and today it's legal to talk about that. It's open. It's nothing. What I did then, today you can do it openly. But in Russia, in those days, it was forbidden, and that's why it was like a secret mission. Um, I, I was born in Russia until age 21. I lived there, and then I made Aliyah. I came to Israel, and 12 years after my Aliyah, I was already married. I had a child. Suddenly, someone called to me and say, "I'm from a Minister of Foreign Affairs, and I want to talk to you in Tel Aviv. Invite me to talk to them." I came, and they told me, "Listen, it's like we called Minister of Foreign Affairs. Really, we are Mossad. This is and we want to ask you to go to Russia to do some special mission." And they say, "Why me? You don't have enough professionals and people that they can do much better than me?" He says, "No, because we need someone that he speak Russian from one hand, and from other hand that he is a Zionist religion person." And in Israel, there is no such a lot, because most of the Russian Olim, they weren't religious at all, and they need somebody that is rabbi, and you're already rabbi, so you can.
You're the right one.
You are the right one. Yeah, we have not a lot of people that we could do that, and I didn't want to, but. I was afraid. I had it's like people that have sometimes claustrophobia. They're afraid to get to elevator. I had the same claustrophobia in Soviet Union and in all Russia, that you can go there inside. It was a miracle I could get out from there. It was miracle that I escaped from Russia, and now I have to go back. No, it was for me terrible. I was already I worried about my family, what they'll do if something will happen to me, this and that. And I didn't want, but I decided to ask my rabbi. Then it was Rav Shlomo Aviner. I don't know if you've heard about him, but he's famous rabbi today. I came to him and I asked him, what do you suggest? What should I do? And he says, main question is if you are willing to sacrifice yourself for other Jews. This is the question. And I understand that I have no choice. It's like this is my duty. And I didn't know in those days that Rav Aviner himself, he also was a spy of Medinat Israel, of Israel, in Iran. He was born in France, and he went to Iran as a French tourist, and he did their work. So when he told me, if you are willing to sacrifice yourself, he did it. So you can trust him. You can align on him that he himself did that. And I say, okay. I gave my. I can here. I gave my. Like, I agree, and I went there. When I came to Moscow, I was in some apartment. It was like a secret place, secret apartment. Nobody knows about this place. And I had to meet a lot of people as a rabbi, but really my mission was try to organize Jews there and to um, and to make them like to find leaders of communities, and there was no communities. There was no such a thing, Jewish community in Soviet Union. Wasn't like the. It's not like in today, but to organize communities, and those communities will make aliyah to Israel, and we believe that it will make like some push that all Jews will come to Israel, because before most of the Jews they went to other places in the world, in Canada, in Australia, and United States, to Germany, to New Zealand, and all that kind of places. Sweden almost no. It's very, very rare. They were, but a little. But today in America, it was about almost 250,000 Jews. The same, about 500,000 Jews in Germany. All kind of. It was a lot of big numbers. So they wanted to organize all Jews to come to Israel. And for that, you have to come as a teacher of religious things, but really you make them to come. So now we have to find those leaders. And for that, I had to interview about a lot of people, hundreds, and I start to work there, and I work with all the time, everything was pointed to this mission.
You go there with your family?
No, just me.
Wow.
Yeah.
What years are we talking about?
About years?
Years, like late
90.
90, okay.
It was still KGB, KGBs, and
Perestroika already started.
Gorbachev, all kind of.
Perestroika was
Perestroika, those kind of things.
1990s, not 80s?
No. I make Aliyah in 78. And 12 years after, I went there with this mission.
I have the impression that in the 1990s, Russia is already more open.
Yes, it was already much more. That's why I could come there. But still, I didn't come straight to Russia. I have to come to Germany. From Germany, I came there. It wasn't. They have no diplomatic connection, and it was Soviet Union. It wasn't Russia. Before Soviet Union fell apart, but it was already a situation that you can come there. So And I start to work. And since then, I already passed 30 something years. I live in this feeling that I am I live like in my mission. I do my Shlichut. It's like, sometimes all kind of events in your life can like it's not stabilization. It's like a creation. It's like a it's influence on your personality. It's like make impression on you. It create you. So that's what I felt. It did something to me, and so what it did, it caused me feeling that everything that you are doing, it have to be devoted to your mission. Everything, it's you don't do anything just like that. It's in order to fulfill your goal. And Rav Kook write about that. He has like an article that he says, it says in Hebrew and then I'll translate in English. שלמות האדם תלויה במה שתהיה לו מטרה כוללת לכל רצונותיו ופעולותיו בחיים. The completeness of person depend if he has a general aim that include all his desire, all his what he's doing, all his deeds in his life. You have to have something that is your main goal, main idea, and that what make you idealistic. That you don't live your life that like you are influenced by some mood or some all kind of thing that happened to you. No. You do all that.
So it's like focus
to this goal. Yeah.
A purpose-driven life.
Yes, exactly.
What Yaakov did.
Yes, exactly. And that is life of spy. He cannot live like that. You have to do everything focused to, and that's why I try. It's first lesson. I did few lessons. It's first lesson. Everything what you do to this point. Second lesson it was that you don't lose any minutes. Why? Because in any minute, in any moment, they can stop you. You are here and somebody knocking door and KGB will come and he'll grab you and you cannot do your mission. So you have to do it very, very intensive. And I did so intensive that I almost ruined my health. I didn't sleep almost. I work, and I suddenly like I fell in sleep. I slept, and then I woke up after 2 hours, and I continue work. Again, I fall asleep. You say fall asleep?
How old were you at that time?
How
old are you?
I was 34. 33, 34, something. And I wanted to work more. I shouldn't spend my time for those for sleeping. So I drink a lot of coffee. And I felt that already in my veins, it's not blood, but it's coffee stream there. And I continue more, and I understood that it's already. I start. It's not day, not night. So in day life, I start to talk nonsense. It's I talk to someone and say him some nonsense. He says, "What? What did you say?" And I understand that I sleep in the same time that I talk to him, and it was like it was terrible. So I decided that no, it's not good way. I have to sleep, and I tried to sleep 6 hours, and it wasn't enough. I started to sleep 8 hours. That was normal for me, and I understood and I continue. And also, I almost nothing nothing what to eat, because I ate only kosher food, and in the Soviet Union there was no such a thing. So kosher. Today they have a lot of kosher restaurants and this and that, but then nothing. So what kind of food I can eat? I have to buy vegetables and fruits and this and that. I cannot eat cucumbers, and so I have to make a salad. So I spent a lot of time in order to be able to work, and I understand that this is part of my mission. I don't spend time. I make salad.
Making salad is part of the mission.
Yes. And I sleep. It was part of my mission. And it was I didn't have enough air in Moscow. It was smoke. It's not enough air. I felt that I need to breathe, so I went to forest. And I wanted to breathe fresh air in order to. So I spent my time in forest in order to be able to work. So I understood that is when you pointed to your focus, to your mission, you not have to be like something extreme and not normal. You can live normal life, but all the question is how you live your life. What drive you? If your if your goal is pleasure, or your goal is something idealistic, something spiritual. And I work like this. Another thing what I learned from this mission is that you have to be ready to give report for your deeds. Normal person that he is not in shaliach, he not have to give report to nobody. Maximum you spend a lot of money. So what will happen? You have a problem with your bank, and they'll maybe your father will help you to manage with them or to do something. Okay, maximum, but you not have to give any reports. But here, everything that you do, you give report to why you spend so much money, for what, and what you did today, what you did for the day before, and everything.
Because they ask you to do
Yes,
this job.
yes. And another thing that you learn that that you are alone, and nobody in the world will help you. Normal person, that he is not shaliach, that he's not spy. Yeah? He lives with feeling that that all culture, all civilization will help you if you need some problem. If you something broken, you can invite plumber. Plumber. If you have a problem with your neighbors, you can invite police. If you have a problem, you can invite ambulance. But there you're alone, absolutely alone. And really, my telephone that I called, telephone was like this once. When we say call, that it was the make dial number. So my telephone was broken suddenly, and I cannot apply to no one that he'll come help me.
You didn't have a cell phone.
And, yeah. So what I can do, and I have to find, be able, and all my work is to invite people by telephone, to call them and to invite them. So what I can do, I have to find some solution. That I find, I fix this phone by myself. But you understand, it's like you are alone. There is a joke. It's not a joke, but it's some Hasidic joke story about Admor mi Sadigura. It's some Hasidic court in, if I'm not mistaken, Hungary. He was a clever man, and he says that you have to learn from everything that exists in the world. Everything tells you something. So try to understand what it tells you. Especially new things that they appear in the world. They come in order to teach you something. So try to understand. So his Hasidim ask him, what, for example, can learn from train? Today, suddenly they appear train in the world. Before it wasn't. What you can learn from train? He says, someone that he is full enough, he can push after him in 10 that they are empty. It's like how is it in English? Qatar. It's a train in the first train, and after he has wagons. That if you are train, you can have a lot of wagons after you. And what else we can learn from train? That if you late just for 1 minute, you lose everything. And they say, what you can learn from telephone. It appeared suddenly telephone in this time. He says, what you're talking here, somebody listened to you there. And what you can learn from telegraph, it was they sent telegrams, And today it's not exist. But then, in my time, I remember about 30 years ago, something like that. If you want to say to someone immediately now, not later, you write telegram and you pay for each word that it's written there. So people, in order to say, instead of say hello, I came back to my home, they say I'm back. Not to pay a lot. Yeah, yes.
Save money.
Yeah, save money. So they ask what you can learn from telegraph. He says that you pay for each word that you say here in this world. And then they ask him, now there are new something in this world. What new? Atheism. Before it wasn't. What you can learn from atheism? He says, if some Jew will ask you help, don't tell him Hashem will help you. In Hebrew, it's very Hashem Yazor. It's Hashem Yazor. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will help you. He says, don't say HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You go and help. Be atheistic. in this thing. If somebody, so in some way, I was then in Russia. I was great believer. I knew that only Kadosh Baruch Hu can help me. That's what I learned from this. Nobody in the world can help me if I have problem. Only Kadosh Baruch Hu.
They knew that you exist.
That I what?
Exist.
Exist? Who? Russians?
I don't know. Somebody.
No, Russians
Sometime
knew. I came as a rabbi. They let me be rabbi there.
Oh,
But they didn't know that
What you did.
what I really do.
this is, I mean, you don't exist.
I'm not exist for them as a yes, as a.
Yeah.
So what what I learned generally from all this story, that it's really we should live our life in extreme way. That is right way to live. Extreme. But not extreme that you make dangerous things and you danger your life. But everything that you are doing, you should do as a spy. And you know, each family today in Israel, each family that they have 10 children, 8 children, they live this kind of life more or less. Because you cannot do anything just like this. There is intention. Like you always in duty. You always do something. You're not okay. Even when you not do anything, that you just rest and you sit and eat popcorn. I don't know. It's part of your mission. As I need then to go to forest, and I spend my time for this mission. That's how we should live. We shouldn't be, like people that they are in how you say in English that someone pensia in retired, right? He is retired.
Yeah.
I am too. You can live retired even in age 25. Not because you really have pension, but you have like a mentality. Mm-hmm. You have your perception as pensioner, as a retired. There are people that they go with slippers in a Beit Midrash. He go to learn Torah, so he go with slippers and sunflower seeds. He's eating sunflower seeds, and learn Torah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Mm-hmm. With training, like a pajama, like he goes to Beit Midrash, and he lives his life like this. But we should live as a mission. This is the ideal, to be idealistic. Idealistic, it's not someone that he is dream about building a new startup or new house, new settlement and that is his idealistic. Idealistic, it's everything that you are doing. You should do as idealist. That what your goal is not a pleasure. It's something that you believe. and you fulfilled in your life your belief. That is idealistic. When my son went to learn in yeshiva, he was 18 years old, my oldest son. So I told him, you should learn in yeshiva in this way, that you should be able to look in eyes of soldiers in your age, that now they're in army. What it means that you shouldn't spend time for nothing, just like this. You shouldn't talk with your friends when you go make coffee. You stay there and you talk about politics and about weather, about other things. No, if you're not in army, you should be mobilized to learning Torah. And when he went to army, when he was in army, I told him, you should serve, and to be able to look in eyes to those boys that they sit in Torah and they learn from morning to night, and they don't lose any moments. You should serve like this. And that's what he did. That's what he told me, that how he learned.
Lesson for life.
Yes. And last thing that I want to tell you today, that will explain you why I was to go to Russia with this secret mission. I'll tell you why I did this decision. And that story that happened 43 years ago, something like that, 44 already, yeah, 44. I came to Israel as a new immigrant, Oleh Hadash, and I was here a few weeks, and suddenly in the absorption center, they told us, listen, there is some, how to say, journalist party, מסיבת עיתונאים, journalist party, then interview the press party, it calls?
Press conference.
Oh, press conference.
Yeah.
Press conference with two Knesset members that they came from Russia. You say, Knesset members come from Russia? How it can be? They say, yes, they, in Russia, they wanted to make some festival or something like that, and they invite all people from all the world, except of Israel. So few countries like America, England, they say, no, we also won't come if you don't invite Israel. So they were forced to invite two Knesset members that they would come to Russia. And after that one week, they came back. And like today, imagine that today some two Chavrei Knesset will go to Iran or to North Korea. It's of course it will make some impression. They will invite some press conference, and so that's what was done then in Russia. And they came and they told all kinds of things, how it was, this and that. Okay, they finished this. Someone, what questions? This question, another question. Suddenly, one Zionist, how is his name? Prison Zionist. Asir Tzion. It's someone like Prison of Zion. You know who? There's people. Yeah, Sharansky, Mendelevich. Yeah. One of them were there, and he asked, I want to ask you a question. Yes, please. Did you meet Jews then when you come to Moscow? He says, no, we didn't have enough time. He said, but why? he says, "Oh, our graphic, our time, like a schedule, were very, very intense. We met with Brezhnev, we met Kosygin and Gromyko and all kind of dogs like this, and we didn't have time." They say, "But you know, they are your brothers, and they're in behind the Iron Curtain. They need, maybe you can bring them tefillin, talit, sidurim, chumash, something, and they at least meet them. Just they should know that Israel remember them. They know them. They want to help them. So why you didn't meet them?" They said, "Listen, it was impossible. All the time we work." He says, "But here I have Russian newspaper, and it's written here that you went to concert." And suddenly it became quiet, silence, and people, "What? You went to concert?" "Yes, and to circus and to ballet, and you went theater. Every day you did some in some restaurant. What's going on here?" They say, and suddenly they understood that it's bad for them politically. So they said, "This is provocation. You are provoke us. You are." It's how to accuse him, like they. Why? Why it's provocation? Why you? He says, "Because it was our private time. We're also people. We also want to see some culture. We also want to go to some some concert or something like that. We're also people. We want to live, and we went there as a private people." And suddenly this guy yelled on them, and in all my life I never heard scream like this. It was like, it was some from stomach. He screamed at them, "You don't have, you are not private person. You don't have private life." It was like a, "אתה לא אדם פרטי!" Like this he screamed. Long. "זה לא זמן פרטי!" And I was so impressed that I think 12 years after that, when they suggest me to go to Russia and to danger my life, because of this scream, I think I decided that I will go. I was agree. And I thought to myself that probably what happened in hell. When person come after his life in this world, when he come to Gehenom, that's probably how he feel some shame. It's not some punishment. It's a shame that you live here just stam, just for that. Like, how's in English stam? You know, that stam for no purpose. You live just
Aimless.
Aimless, exactly. Stam, you lived here stam.
If you are Jew, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
You must do something. You must do something.
Mm-hmm.
Else.
I'm not saying, it's like we imagine to ourselves that Gan Eden, it's like a nirvana, it's pleasure. But Rav Kook says, no, Gan Eden, it's that you always climb up, you always improve, always go. It's not something static, it's not stability. It's when you live with in this way, that is your happiness. That is to be how to be happy. And I try to live in this kind of way today also. And I, Bezat Hashem, for you. I wish you too. Yes, please.
I have a question. You describe yourself as a spy instead of a missionary, but I don't quite understand because you have a goal, you have mission, you have purpose. Why didn't you say you are a missionary?
I will tell you.
Why you say
Yeah, I will tell you. Because few things. First of all, it was I went there by Mossad. Mossad, Israeli Mossad, they sent me there. Second, it was secret mission because it was against of Russians' laws, and if they will catch me, I would sit in prison.
Siberia.
Yeah, and
Prisoner of Sion.
yes, exactly, and that's what how you defined spy. Spy is someone.
For me, spy is like collecting intelligence.
It's only from you see a lot of movies because of that.
Yeah, I think it's missionary in a lot of missionaries.
No. Most of the spies they work in embassy. They are people that they have. It's not like people think to collect some information from secret information about military service. It's not. Spy is someone they do they try to do some missions from your country in foreign or in enemy's country by that it's illegal to have something to create some situation, not just to make feel like photos or to do to something from that. There are today most of the intelligence servers they work more to influence to government, not to collect information, because this information you can get by a lot of ways. You not have to not a person do that. It's much easier today. Today, person need to influence and to others. How say they brainwash. This is spy to do today. They create all kind of situation that in this country they will make, for example, revolution. Like today, what happened in Iran. In Iran, who organized that? It's because one. What do you say?
They say the Americans and the Israelis.
Yes, they are right.
That's what they say.
That's what that it was spy do. They organize those revolutions. It's not by accident. Not one man decided and suddenly a lot of. They know how to influence, manipulate. Yeah, that's what intelligence.
I don't agree. Iranians can also do revolutions by
Yeah,
themselves.
the Russian Revolution was like that.
For example, in 1979, the Islamic Revolution is conducted by Iranians themselves. It's not the Americans want to have
not
Islamic
always.
revolution.
I'm not saying always.
Who is talking?
Okay, Tov. Shalom, shalom.